Good evening. Thank you for joining us for another virtual town hall. Tonight is Wednesday, December 9th. All right, I'll do a recap of the numbers. Today in the state of Ohio, we're at 520,112 cases. In the county, 7,124. The numbers for the village, we are saddened to report that the county health department has a lot of work on their hands, and there's so many cases that they're having a difficulty reporting out to the municipalities on the daily case numbers. So as beginning this week, we have not received our daily numbers. We've been advised by the health commissioners to treat every call from a public safety team as a COVID exposure, potential COVID exposure, and take all the necessary precautions. As you know, we take all the necessary precautions in all the activities we do, so that we don't need to be advised about that. But it is alarming that we have seen an uptick in the cases in the county and surrounding jurisdiction to the point that the health department is challenged with tracking and reporting those numbers. I know Chief Colin Altman has joining us, and he might have more information as he is on the grounds reporting to every medical call in both the village and the township. And I look forward to receiving his insights. We have one announcement tonight regarding the upcoming New Year's Eve. We look forward to welcoming 2021 in our homes. With the governor extending the curfew through the rest of the month, the traditional New Year's Eve ball drop, the gam ball, is a prohibited activity. So the Miami Township Fire Department and our police department will not be sponsoring an activity for New Year's Eve. So we hope for your cooperation in not having a New Year's Eve drop, ball drop in downtown, but we're excited to welcome 2022 with you, and we hope we'll be able to, yes, 2022, Colin, I'm thinking that far out, that we're gonna have a big party come 2022, not this year coming up. So hang in there with us. We'll get through this, and we'll get through this together. All right, Chief, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much, Josue. Excuse me. Miami Township Fire Chief Colin Altman coming to you from a giant menorah tonight to wish everyone a happy pre-Hanukkah. It starts tomorrow evening at sundown, but we only meet on Wednesdays. So I thought I'd get that out there for everybody. Happy Hanukkah. It's like the overlooked holiday. As a partially Jewish, partially Catholic cashew child growing up, I got to do both holidays. So that was always fun. So a very happy Festival of Light to everybody who celebrates. And even if you don't celebrate, happy Hanukkah as well. As Josue said, we in the fire department received a message from Director Tom Stickrath of the Department of Public Safety on Monday that went out statewide to fire and EMS agencies, stating that due to the overwhelming number of COVID cases that are coming in daily, local health departments are completely overwhelmed in terms of statistics and are unable to continue, for the most part, sending out the daily numbers that they were doing. One of the reasons for that, actually the main reason for the numbers when they were sending those out to us, was that EMS and law enforcement would know what addresses had a positive COVID case. But we are now at a point where we just assume everybody that we contact is a potential COVID patient. The hospitals in our region are premier hospitals, particularly premier health hospitals, seem to be having a higher impact of COVID patients right now than Kettering Health hospitals. So it's important that we continue doing everything we can to keep this monster at bay. The governor has talked a lot about the vaccines, and that is great. We've got the Pfizer vaccine hopefully to be approved any day by the FDA, and then to be shipped to Ohio. They're waiting for that shipment. The shipment is not going to be a huge shipment, though. I've heard between 30 and 90,000 doses, which means 15 to 45,000 people initially. And if you watched the news recently, you saw that Pfizer offered up more doses and the administration did not, the federal administration did not take that. So it's going to be a while before that, to use a Republican term, trickles down to get to everybody else. Even my guys, we're in tier 1A. EMS providers are supposed to be up there getting them. We're not looking at getting vaccines probably for our staff until maybe February. So it's going to be a very slow rollout as the entire planet is trying to get these vaccines at the same time. Remember, when your turn comes up, a couple important things. Get it. Get the vaccine. Get the vaccine. I don't care if you're like a crazy vegan type fundamentalist. You still need to get this vaccine. It's going to be very important that as many people get it as humanly possible. If you got your flu vaccine and it went fine for you, you didn't have a serious reaction, then you should be fine to get either the Pfizer or, when it comes out, the Moderna one. It does not look like we'll be getting the AstraZeneca one in our neck of the woods, which is somewhat of a shame because it's a single dose versus the other two that are dual doses. So watch for that. Continue doing everything you can to stay safe. Wear your masks. And again, remember, people, wear your mask the correct way. And that means mouth and nose. You breathe through both. This doesn't help. This doesn't help. And this chin strap thing certainly doesn't help unless you want to look like Abe Lincoln. So, excuse me, please remember, wear your mask when you're out. Maintain social distance of at least 6 feet from everybody who you don't want to be too close to, who's not in your bubble. Wash and sanitize your hands frequently. Cover your coughs. And most importantly, stay home. Stay home if you don't need to go out. I know it's a sacrifice for people. My God, I can't go out and get my last minute Christmas shopping done. That's why they invented Amazon. Or your local stores right here in town. Just go downtown. But it is important that we do what we can. It's not for myself. It's not for you. It's not for Mayor Pam, but it's for all of us as a community. And when I say community, I mean all of us. Yellow Springs, Miami Township, Greene County. We have to do what we can to keep this thing at bay. It is not going well out there right now. Pennsylvania is looking at doing some serious lockdown potentials coming up. If our hospitals get to a point where they think they might, I can't imagine we're not going to go into the same situation too. So please, 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 let's stay on the right path. Let's keep our masks on, do everything we got to do so we can get through this together. And then next year, we can have, hopefully, 2 street fairs. We can have fireworks. We can have trick or treat, though I actually like the drive-through thing. I thought that was a lot of fun, but that's just me. We can, you can have mass Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and Christmas celebrations, and we can do the ball drop again. But for this year, we just have to chill a little bit, stay home, watch TV. I don't know what CNN's going to do if Anderson Cooper is going to be like by himself in his renovated fire station that he lives in for New Year's Eve. But I'm sure there'll be something. Netflix has got tons of stuff. So watch stuff at home, stay at home, visit the friends and family next year. We'll get through this. We'll get through it together. And next year, 2021 will be a great year for all of us. Hopefully, let's hope. So anyway, that's all from me here at this giant menorah that will be lit tomorrow night, not tonight. I know. I've got mine right here for lighting. And just a little bit of Hanukkah safety. If you are lighting a menorah, remember, light it safely. Don't set yourself on fire. And be careful when you're making those latkes because we don't want any grease fires. If you've got a good latke recipe, the Ohio Revised Code actually requires that your fire chief in your community has to try them. So just, look me up and we'll see what we can do. If nothing else, back to you, Josue. And if you're not sure what a latke is, look up potato pancake and you'll get the general idea. All right. Thank you. Good night.
I will look that up. Thank you, Chief. Chief, I want to add the priority listing. I had a meeting today with the emergency management team for the county, and we're reviewing the priority groups that will receive the vaccine and in what order. And so I think it's important we share that to the public, because you stated that the EMS probably won't be getting it sometime until February. And looking at the distribution priority sheet that I received today, and this became available on the 5th, so just a few days ago, the healthcare workers and personnel will be the first ones to get it. And these are the folks that are in the front line. They're treating COVID patients every day. Next will be residents and staff in nursing homes. I think you're all aware that the majority of our deaths are and serious complications from COVID are coming from folks in nursing homes, resident and staff. The third group is resident and staff in assisted living facilities, then patients and staff in the state psychiatric hospitals, then individuals who are in some sort of assisted living or group homes, and individuals who have mental health challenges in these homes. Then it's the residents and staff at the 2 homes for Ohio veterans, and then is the EMS responders. So that's there's a lot of folks in those priority groups that need to be served, because that's where we're seeing a lot of deaths and a lot of work that needs to be done there. So I wanted to put some context to what Chief Altman stated about the EMS team getting it in February, getting the vaccine in February.
Yeah, it's I mean, there's a lot of people who do take priority over us, and that's, we definitely recognize that. If you're a nursing home employee or nursing home resident, or you work in a state psychiatric facility or even a prison. I just was on a conference call today, and state corrections, there are over 700 employees currently off work due to COVID in the corrections department. So it's at a point where National Guard is supporting corrections, and the State Patrol is as well. So, these people are really, really on the front lines. I mean, we're on the front line, but they're on the wicked front. They're the commandos out there. So they need that first. And, we'll all be patient, and we'll get it when it comes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and the other important news to share around that, Chief, you talked about the different types of vaccine. The 2-dose vaccine requires significant refrigeration, and part of the conversation today with the emergency management team was looking at the refrigeration resources that are available. And the county has done a great job at identifying the resources, securing the resources to ensure proper storage and distribution of those vaccines. So you might have heard that in the news, and I feel confident in what the emergency management team is doing here in the county on the storage and distribution.
And Josue, I just want to point out something too that people may not be aware of. Everything Josue just talked about, being a village manager, meeting with emergency management and getting information. To me, this is what I thought everyone did in Ohio. And I have been shocked during this pandemic to learn that Greene County really is towards the top of Ohio in terms of our cooperation between agencies and our preparedness. And we were well positioned and lucky that we have a very strong emergency management agency, and the director, Roseanne Anders, and our public health agency, our public health department, is top notch. So that's really helped, and they've communicated and been open with communication with municipal employees and executives, and with law enforcement, and with fire and EMS, and with our 2 hospital systems. And so we're all on the same page, which has made life so much easier for us in terms of the response to this emergency. And it's unfortunate that I find, as I travel the state and attend these meetings, that that is not the norm in this state. So we are, another reason to count your blessings that Yellow Springs is here and in Greene County, because our county is maybe a lot of crazy things, but it's when it comes to emergencies, we are well prepared and well positioned for this. So. Good job, Greene County.
Thank you, Colin. I couldn't agree with you anymore. I feel lucky to have such a team of professionals around us and all the agencies. I have great relationships with the city managers and administrators in the county. We communicate regularly. We used to have lunch regularly, but since this COVID. We've had to cut back our in-person meetings, but we continue the collaboration, and that's good to point out, Colin, that isn't the case in every county in Ohio, and certainly not the case throughout the country. All right, joining us tonight is also Florence and Sgt Watson. Florence or Sgt Watson, any updates from public safety?
As far as the police department goes, we just want to back everything that Chief Altman said, and we are going to be limiting the types of calls that we go on. If we can take and handle the call via telephone, we will be doing that. However, if there is obviously something in progress, if there is a crime of violence, if someplace has been broken into, if there's evidence on the scene that we need to collect, we will obviously respond to that. But if anyone has any questions, if they need any clarification, definitely call the police department and we'll make sure we get that out.
Excellent, thank you. All right, anything from Florence? There you go.
Oh, yeah, I still have some funds, I think in the neighborhood of $5,000 available for utility and rent payment out of the last monies that was released from the Miami Valley Township. Those monies are available for township residents as well as Yellow Springs residents. If there's someone out there who still needs help, please go on to the Miami Valley CAP website, fill out the application online. That's the only way you can submit a CAP application. And the deadline is fastly approaching to get the funds. Once you have submitted your application online, even if you don't get a response, it's in the queue. And when they have the capacity to process all the orders, then it will be handled. If you have any questions, give me a call. We have a few other sources of funding, but you do need to apply for CAP as soon as possible.
And Florence, what's a good number to reach you?
937-767-3716, or you may call the 937-767-7206.
All right, and I'm gonna take a trick from Mayor Pam's. Oh, I'm too far away. That doesn't work. But that number is 937-767-3716.
Correct.
So thank you, Flora. Appreciate all that you're doing. I want to remind folks that you've just done an amazing job at getting many financial resources, cash contributions to help our residents and township residents to meet their utility needs, pay for utilities, food, and housing. So thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you. And I want to echo Chief Altman about the village of Yellow Springs. We count it a blessing, and you should be happy that you live in this village, because there are so many people that are willing to help. And we have had help from our community foundation. We've had help from the credit union, the senior center, and all type of individual anonymous donors who have really stepped up to the plate to help our village. So we appreciate that.
Thank you, Florence. All right, Mayor Pam, thank you for joining us.
As usual, it is my pleasure, Josue. We got to get you a big whiteboard so you can hold that thing right up and everyone can see it. Latest in technology here in the village. I've got a couple of announcements for everyone tonight. So let me get started. You know, we're all familiar with that old saying, especially this time of the year, it's better to give than to receive. And we have an opportunity to do that here in Yellow Springs at our very own public library. We can take a request from a family, a local family, off of the giving tree. You can't miss it. It's right inside the door on the table when you first walk in. Usually there are items on the tree for families that are less fortunate than we. They have requested certain clothing, food items, toys for children, and so forth. Well, this year, because of COVID, we're restricting the gifting items to gift cards. Now, I spoke to our new head librarian today, Tracy Phillips, and Tracy told me that the cutoff day for the giving tree is this Friday, December 11th. What's going to happen is there are gift card requests hanging on the tree, and there's apparently still a lot of them there. Tomorrow, you can go into the library, take a look at those requests, perhaps take one or two with you, go to the stores, purchase the gift card, return them to the library by Friday, this Friday, and they'll be distributed to the needy families. A second option would be to bring cash on the barrelhead in an envelope to the library, a donation that you would like to make. Put your Benjamins in an envelope, please, and then give them to the librarians, and they have volunteers who are going to go out and make the purchases for the gift cards. So many thanks to anyone who's willing to participate in that project and make the season brighter for some of our residents. And that said, if you are one of the gifting types, and I know that many in the village, of course, are, even in this very odd season, a lot of us are trying to do our shopping locally. And I know I'm one of those people. I had several very wonderful experiences this week in going around to some of our local merchants and local stores. And I'd like to share one of those experiences with you. I had it on good faith and a great rumor that I received the last helium balloon. It was a gift, a happy birthday gift from earlier this year. I received the last helium balloon that the toy store was going to sell from someone. And I wanted to verify this, so I talked to toy store owner Jamie Sharp, who tells me they will no longer be carrying helium balloons. And this is because the world supply of helium is running low. It's also because of that, it's becoming more expensive. And I think, as most of us know, helium balloons are an environmental danger. They're not environmentally friendly for various reasons. And this is where I went to Google after talking to Jamie, and I learned the following, which I wanted to share with you, Colin Altman style. Once helium, which is a non-renewable resource, is released into the atmosphere, it's light enough to escape the gravitational field, and so it just heads out into space, never to return. And we may be running out of helium within 25 to 30 years because it's a non-renewable resource, and it's being consumed very freely, and our national stockpile is being depleted. And meanwhile, of course, it's getting harder to get and becoming more and more expensive. Now, I asked myself, could I have found this out by shopping at Amazon? No, but Jamie Sharp at the toy store took me to school and really enlightened me. So then I went down to the Village Artisans, and I had a great talk with Teresa Mayer while she rang up my purchases. And I found out from Teresa, she explained all about multi-level layering of instrumental pieces so that they would all merge together and sound like there's a whole orchestra recording something. Now, I ask you, would I've learned this anywhere else in town around by shopping outside of town? And I think the answer is no, but that's a different story. So as you shop around the village, I want you to remember the 3 W's this year. Wear your mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. Thank you very much. Josue, I return things back to you. Folks, I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much, Mayor. That's an interesting story about helium and troubling at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, well, for the millennials that are watching, Mayor Pam, you made a reference to Benjamins, and millennials don't use a whole lot of cash. So that's $100 bills, but I'm sure the library will take Lincolns and Jeffersons,
Oh,
Grant and Jackson.
they will take Washingtons. They will take coins. They will take anything. Okay, it's a very worthy cause for those less fortunate. Thank you.
Yeah, so I hope you will go out and support the initiative. All right, as tradition, we will open up the town hall for questions. Philip, do we have any questions? Okay. We'll wait a few seconds to see if any questions come through. Okay, well, I do not see any questions. So I'll take this opportunity to share the upcoming calendar of virtual town halls for the rest of the year. We will host one more meeting for during this month, and that's next week, the 16th. We'll have our traditional town hall. We'll also discuss the budget. We'll do another presentation of the budget, so I hope you are able to join for that and ask questions. As the final reading, the second reading and final reading for the 2021 budget will take place at the council meeting on December 21st. That is Monday, December 21st. So if you haven't had an opportunity to review the budget presentations, the videos, or the documents we released in the council packet, I encourage you to do so and reach out to us with any questions you have. I look forward to receiving questions and providing responses to them. All right, so we'll have, again, one more virtual town hall meeting. That's on the 16th. For the week on the 23rd, which is Wednesday, December 23rd, we will not have a town hall, as we will not have a town hall on the 30th. So we've got a lot of things going on. I will still be working, I'll be around, but we'll not have the town hall. But should any urgent matters come up, any emergencies come up, and we need to make any public announcements, we will do so. We will have staff on site to provide any emergency updates. So Philip, any questions? Okay, all right. With that, I want to wish you good night. Thank you. Oh, and happy holidays. Okay. Oh, and happy holidays. Wish you all the best. Stay safe.